Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the latest hyperdimensional comp to come to DB Legends, and that is against the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So this is a new hyperdimensional comp, and you can obtain the Z power for the Fierce Fight Android 18 by competing in it. So it's a pretty straightforward deal. If you've done hyperdimensional comp before, it's all relatively the same. The only difference is now you can farm the Z power for Android 18 from the event. Now a full power gauntlet will be coming later on for Android 18, but there's also this really good equip that you can farm from this event as well. And this equip is really strong for Androids teams, like really honestly quite strong. So I highly suggest you look at maybe farming a couple. Now you also have Goku Black. He's also a boost character for the drop rate of Z power from this event, and I think at the most it's obviously an event you should consider doing. Now if you want to obtain Z power for the Fierce Fight Android 18, I highly suggest you complete her Fierce Fight event, which you can find obviously under the events tab. There are two typings for this event, and they're the same as the one before, so you can keep pretty much the same roster of characters you used. However, please be advised that it's now Android and Cell Saga Z, which are the effective categories. Adjust your team accordingly. Obviously green and then purple typing is going to be ideal here, and you want to make sure that you use a battle bonus character. The Goku Black will only provide you with a boost to your rewards if he is in 7-star plus. So unfortunately, if your Goku Black is not maxed out, then you are going to be unable to use him to boost your drop rate, which is a little bit lame. I wish they would just let a 7-star one at least get some kind of boost. But it is what it is. So choose your characters, ideally the strongest ones you have, and proceed from there. Obviously, selecting the battle bonus characters will help you to have a better time. So I highly suggest you do that, especially if you are someone who's interested in farming the Z power for Android 18 or the Platinum equipment, which is also honestly a pretty good ideal. So that's basically it when it comes to team preparation. Remember that you get 3 limited attempts per day. So you want to make sure that you maximize those limited attempts, because the store refreshes with Arts Core cost gear and also refreshes with Chrono Crystals and other Platinum equips that you get beforehand as well. So you're going to want to really look at obtaining some of these really nice resources that you can use to get a whole bunch of added value for your characters that you do have. Now, outside of that, all you simply have to do is take on the hyperdimensional comp. We'll take a look at the missions and the exchange tutorial afterwards, but more just to kind of clarify on what I'm saying. And then I'll give you guys some tips for the hyperdimensional comp. So if you're someone who's interested, you can continue watching here, or alternatively, you can skip a minute or so, about 2 minutes further on from this point to see the missions. Otherwise, you can just leave it on or leave. It's no real problem to me. But yes, for those of you who are interested in tips and tricks for hyperdimensional co-op, it's very straightforward. You're going to have 2 characters, and the boss will have 2 typings. The boss will cycle through those 2 typings, which means you're going to want to look at cycling through your characters as well. The boss will have a blue shield. This shield needs to be destroyed before you can do real big damage to the boss themselves. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to take out the blue shield and then use your Rising Rush at the same time as your ally. If you are caught in the purple telekinesis ability like this, rather have your ally intercept for you. It's way better. You can also perform strike clashes or blast clashes, where you'll clash with the boss and leave an opening for your ally to take advantage of. Once you've destroyed the shield, use your Rising Rush at the same time as your ally, and make sure that you time the Rising Rush to go off in the reticle at the same time as your ally as well. Also make sure that the character you use is a character that has the appropriate typing to maximize the damage. Outside of that, there's not too much else you can do realistically. Should you fail to defeat the boss in the first go, which you'll see here, you are just going to have to basically take down the shield again. So it's just one of those things realistically that you have to do. Now, outside of that, there's not too much else really to say. I think, for the most part, hitting the Rising Rush is a very straightforward mechanic nowadays, because the Rising Rush itself cancels animations. Before, previously, players would have to wait, make sure neither of them are doing an animation, and then go and do them both at the same time. And I think that used to cause like a lot of issues. Plenty players would forget it or not time it properly or do it mid-animation. Nowadays it's way easier to hit it, so you shouldn't really have a big issue. But like I said, the boss might go through a second cycle, and the boss might Rising Rush you. If the boss does Rising Rush you, which you're going to see them do here, what you need to do is you need to actually make sure that you also hit the reticle in the little gap, so that you can avoid all the damage and evade the Rising Rush. So it's a pretty straightforward principle. Usually my matches don't take this long, so it's actually kind of interesting to be able to run through all the mechanics inside of the co-op, so that's pretty nice. As you can see, you need to tap it in the designated zone. This won't reduce all the damage, but will prevent you from getting the KO. And then afterwards you can take out the boss's shield and get rid of him. So it's a pretty simple task. Obviously, it's still challenging, still going to need to be able to, take out the boss. But at the end of the day, it's an event that's, pretty straightforward, I would say. So Hyperdimensional Co-op, obviously something you should all really look at completing. And yeah, always just try your very best to complete it 3 times a day. Because that's the limited rewards, and not that that's as the minimum you should do. Well, not that that's the maximum you should do, that's like the minimum you should do. If you really want to, you should probably farm it more. You can spend it on arts core boosting material, or you can spend it on more chrono crystals, more platinum gear. There's plenty of reasons to do it, especially if you're a newer player, or if you're someone who's looking to gather up resources. It's very valuable. So yeah, that's basically going to be it in regards to the Hyperdimensional Co-op. You can see we got a nice chunk of rewards. And we're able to boost our Android 18. So all a very good time. Now obviously there are some missions, and there is the exchange shop. The exchange shop is pretty straightforward, tons of great value here. Majority of it being unique equipment, platinum gear, arts core costs, seed exchange metals, and obviously chrono crystals, slot removers, multi-Z power. There's plenty to obtain, so like I say, you definitely want to run it as much as possible. And the missions are fairly straightforward as well, giving you some more chrono crystals alongside as well some titles as well. So pretty simple stuff. That's basically going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.